we always like to kind of touch base on what's going on in the community and what some of the good folks are doing. Lenny Cooke, who is a great player in his own right. I know he's got his third annual event, the Shoot Hoops Not Guns tournament. The event is Saturday this weekend. He's always good enough to join us for a couple moments on a Friday on the Boardwalk Honda Hotline. How you been, Lenny?
What's going on, Rich? How you doing?
I'm doing well. We're going to get into a little NBA in a second, but I know you got the event going on this weekend as well. Which is going to be the third annual?
Yeah, man, it's the third annual Lenny Cooke Shoot Hoops Not Guns event going on, man, at MLK School Complex in Atlantic City.
How's been the feedback over the last several years? I know you guys are really making some headway with it. It seems like a lot more people, especially in the community, have been engaged with this over the last year or so.
Yeah, definitely, man. Each year has gotten better. Starting out, it was kind of rough, but now it's coming along. A lot of people have been involved and helping out and like what I'm doing, and they are definitely basically supporting what I'm doing for the youth in the community.
It's a good thing, right? I mean, I think a lot of times we need a lot more of that. What's it going to run, 12:30 to about 2:30? That's the boys. You'll have the boys and girls skills that you had last year as well, right? You have a couple guest speakers and a couple guest players.
Yeah, definitely. I got the Skills and Drills Clinic, which Coach Carl and Coach Lance will be doing. That's running from 12:30 to 2:30. And the games will start at 3 o'clock. I'm waiting to hear back from Dewan Wagner.
Nice.
Who's supposed to be the guest speaker tomorrow. Hopefully he would definitely be in attendance, him and his son. And his son is supposed to play. Hopefully they will be there.
Oh, wow. How old's his son?
His son is in the 7th grade.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wagner was probably, I mean, from my area, one of the best players I've ever seen. And I actually played against him. And when he played us, I think he had a broken hand, and I think he dropped 40-something. That's how good this kid was playing out of Camden.
Dewan was definitely a special talent.
Yeah, he was. It's funny, we were talking about this before. Have you seen, with now having your hand and doing some coaching and doing a lot of stuff in the community, that there are kind of like hidden gems, right? Some of these young kids in this area that if maybe just given a chance, that they can really exceed, not just in basketball, but just in life. I know that's something you and I have talked about a long time where, they just kind of need a little guidance at times, right? You got to be able to kind of be on the straight and narrow and kind of live a clean life, so to speak. And if given an opportunity, you got to try to make the most of it.
Definitely, man. And that's what I'm here for, man. And that's my main focus. And my main focal point is to make sure that these kids don't make the same mistakes that I made. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of talent here. It's just not being seen because of the area we in. But at the end of the day, once you become a senior and you get ready to go on to college and stuff like that, you got to keep that image so clean that someone will be willing to take that chance. A lot of kids don't understand that these college scholarships, these is contracts. And if you're not able to keep a clean image and do what the school expects you to do, that they can take that away from you at any time.
You're right. I mean, the trade-off is you get an education, and for few, maybe you have an opportunity to get drafted and play to the pros, but you always have that fallback plan, which is, first and foremost, you get that education. I mean, that's just
definitely that's the most important thing, because they don't understand. Like, even if you don't want to play professional or go overseas or anything like that, at the end of the day, if you had the ability and the opportunity to use basketball to get a free education and get a degree for free, that way when you do graduate, you don't have to be in all kinds of debt. Then I think it's only right that you be on the straight and narrow.
I agree. Again, a couple minutes. Lenny Cooke joining us. Got the third annual Lenny Cooke Shoot Hoops Not Guns event. $10 entry. ML King School Complex, 1700 Memorial Avenue in Atlantic City. Starts at 9. That's tomorrow, April 14th. 12 o'clock. I'm sorry. The skills competition, correct, and everything. So you got the game times, though. Are they running like they were last year? You have the high school game, the junior high school game, the boys high school game, and then you got the main event. What's that, about 6?
Yeah, well, we're running the first game would be the 5th and 6th grade game, which is Action Speaks versus Exclusive Ballers from Atlantic City. Then we have Hamilton Elite and Our Savior Lutheran from New York playing against each other. Then we have that's a 7th grade game, and then we have the 8th grade game, which is COA versus Team Different from New York, which is Kenny Satterfield's team. And then we have the Lenny Cooke All-Stars high school team versus Team AFB Freedom from Connecticut.
Okay.
And then we have the main event game at 7:30, which will host White Chocolate again. I have Stretch coming from DC. They're going to play against guys, alumni from Atlantic City, such as Noopy. We got Isaiah Graves, Tasha Reynolds, a lot of the gifted kids that came up from Atlantic City area.
Satterfield went to Rice. He went to Rice High School in New York.
Yeah, he went to Rice and played at Cincinnati.
Yeah.
He played 2 or 3 years in the league.
Yeah. I think he had a cup of coffee with the Sixers as well. I remember. He was drafted by the Mavericks. Point guard, right? Played. I think he played with Denver and played overseas as well. All right, you know, I got to get you before we let you get out of here. Talk a little NBA real quick. Is it LeBron's last run here with Cleveland? You think the Sixers can potentially make some noise in the playoffs? How do you see the Eastern Conference?
Man, the Sixers are looking great right now. I believe that they definitely can make a run in the playoffs in the Eastern Conference. As far as LeBron, I think he's out the door this year. I'm hoping that he come to Philly and give Philly that buzz that they really need. They've been doing well. They won the Super Bowl. Villanova won a national championship. So if they can get one in Philly in basketball, I mean, that'd be great for the city.
You know what? Just spoken like a politician. I thought maybe you were going to say to the Knicks.
Oh, man, that'll never happen.
Well, let me ask you something. Does Melo have a little juice left for these playoffs? He's got a little bit of a run left.
I think this is going to be Melo's time to turn it up, and I think he's at that point and at that age where he feels like before he settle on down, he really wants to try to get him a championship.
Who's MVP this year?
MVP is going to LeBron James, no other.
You did it. You totally dismissed Westbrook. I would vote. I would personally vote for LeBron because he plays both ends of the floor, 82 games this year, and he plays defense.
For him to be in his 15th year
and doing what he's doing,
having his best year. I mean, I just feel like it's amazing, man. Like he's in his 15th year playing at his best. And people don't realize that. I mean, I love the Westbrooks. I love the James Hardens. But, I mean, this LeBron is just something different, man. And people got to accept it and respect it. I mean, he is who he is. And at this point of the NBA, he is the MVP.
All right, I'll let you out on this. What are the chances that Jay Wright can say goodbye to Villanova and coach my Knicks?
Man, I mean, I think
never happened.
A beautiful thing, but me personally, being recruited by Coach Wright when I was coming out, when he was at Hofstra.
People forget that too. He cut his teeth at Hofstra.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just me personally, knowing him, getting to know how he is as a coach and stuff like that, man. He's one of the coaches that's in college that wants the best for his players after basketball. So me, I would want him to stay at Villanova, but I think eventually he will get a head coaching job in the NBA.
Yeah, I believe that too, especially if the money's right, because we saw with Pitino, we saw with Calipari, a lot of times they want to kind of take that jump. People forget, Wright started with Rochester, Drexel, Nova, UNLV, then Hofstra, and then obviously has had a great run with Villanova. All right, my friend.
Yeah, definitely, man. I would like to thank a couple of people that helped out.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I would like to thank a couple of people that helped out with me putting this event together. Tim Shelton and Victor Shelton of King Heritage. I would like to thank Ray, Sean Bromfield from Triple D. I would like to thank Shirley for your donations, man. I greatly appreciate y'all support, man, and I just want y'all to know that.
All right, listen, it's always good. We'll get you back in studio quick so we can talk a little more NBA playoffs. But have a good event. I know you're doing a great job within the community and teaching these kids, doing it the right way. And all the best of luck, my friend. Always appreciate a couple moments.
Rich, thanks so much for having me.
You got it, Lenny. Be well, pal. Lenny Cooke joining us for a couple moments on the Boardwalk Honda Hotline.